Hello and welcome back everyone to another episode of the Pokémon Sword and Shield 2-player Nuzlocke versus Vox Syreni plays. We are just about to head into battle against Vox. One thing to note though, I fixed up our team a bit off screen, simply because I didn't want to waste time on here. So this is our team we're going up against Vox with. It looks a bit weird, I know, but that's what we're going with. A few things to note is that Kanji is basically exactly the same as before. The same goes for Sonic. Gulliver, I replaced the Mist with Water Pulse so that we had an actually effective water attack on a water Pokemon. It had that as a remember move. I don't believe I touched anything about Spyro. Nekomaru though, while not exactly the best level for this, I tried to fix up its moves, although I'll be honest, I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing with Nekomaru. It's a weird one. But yeah, I'm hoping it'll be an interesting battle. But with all that said, I think this is where I go and I connect to the interwebs, and I will meet with you guys when we have Vox on the line. I have joined from the depth of the heating volcano, as this place is right now. Hi.
Yeah,
it's really conclusion. It's really warm today. We have a heat wave.
yeah, it really sucks that the supervillain Heatwave didn't bring his companion Captain Cold.
That would have been nice.
Yeah.
So you're ready with the? All right. I should probably set up. What is this? Link battle. Which code do we have today?
What is today's code? It is 42, 86, 42, 68.
68. I think I got the numbers right. I normally do single digits because it's easier.
At least when you're a Dane.
Well, just in general, I do. I get both English numbers, Danish numbers. It's math is. I'm pretty decent at math as long as I don't need to say the numbers. Well, we saw it. We see each other. Now it just becomes a matter of how many times we disconnect.
That is a good question. Hopefully not many. Double no restriction.
Oh, hey cats! Thanks for the good locks. And
hey cats! Thanks for the good lucks. Yeah.
Remember to pick a full team.
Yes.
Okay. I'm scared. As per usual. Let's see what you brought. Okay. I should have brought Morgana.
I was contemplating, because you have a lot of ghost types, to bring something like my milk tank, so I could. I did it. I did the thing where I only picked two. Oh, we disconnected anyways.
Oh, okay. Well, how would you? I'm waiting. I'm waiting for it to disconnect me. There we go. Trying to decide what's the best start, because what do you start with?
That's the question, right?
That is a question. And it's a question I'm not too happy about.
The fact of the matter is that the chat has already decided who wins based on the fact that I'm sitting with Snum.
True. I mean, not that it matters, because the statistics have already decided who wins. Okay, here we go. Well, if the connection holds. What is gonna happen?
And you're ready to send on Nekomaru and Kanji.
I did. I really hoped you'd send out your stupid whale at the very end. It's so small.
My whale's gonna
here.
open up, so.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Away, yeah. Don't mind me. I think I do this. Oh no.
Oh, obstructing already. Dang.
I kind of expected you to not think I had that or would figure out how to use that. Good. Good. Still hits.
Too bad this hits 2 targets.
Oh, really? Huh. I did not know that.
I didn't either.
Here's the main issue here is that I don't think I'm gonna get past that whale.
It's tanky.
It's my doom.
Go.
Why did I do this? This was incredibly dumb.
I honestly picked the whale because it's very complementary to Snum. Oh, you're already G-maxing.
You say that every time. Stop it. Don't act surprised. We know that I need to do that.
I am surprised.
It's not even a good move. It's a move of trying to survive.
It always throws me off balance.
It's because I'm so bad at this game. You don't expect these moves. I got the moves. my unofficial catchphrase. Or something. That doesn't kill that, but it kills the other one because it's strong. Oh.
No.
Cool.
And
what?
Counter only works on the physical moves.
Water is physical. If I get hit by water, that's considered a physical thing.
Well, that is considered a special attack.
Oh, boo.
I
Who needs logic anyway, I guess?
Did you forget that counter only works on physical attacks?
No, I actually thought it was a physical move.
Oh.
I hope the connection holds up so that we can just get this over with. Also because I can't remember any of the moves I've done.
Oh my god, your Pelipper has drizzle.
Yeah.
I want that.
I don't think you're allowed to take that since you already have Pelipper.
Yeah, I know, but I want it.
But if you lose, I could give it to you.
Do you really want to win like that? Ah!
I mean, at this point, I'd take any win, but...
Oh, that's bad. That's bad.
What, that you took a hit?
Water Spout's power depends on how much damage, how much health it has.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Ooh, I wasn't aware of that. Oh, that's good. That's really good.
For you, maybe.
Well, yeah, of course. And if it's good for me, we know it's good for everyone. I am hashtag not full of myself. This hashtagging things is so last decade, isn't it? Goodbye, Oliver. It's not good when it gets taken out by what it should be countering.
Well, to be fair, Visor has gotten a lot of buff.
It's not like I could do anything against it because everything that could counter it got deaded. Shoot. Well, we tried. I got one. I killed your freaking fish. It's so warm.
Let's get explosive.
Sure. The faster this is over, the sooner I can get the fan on again. It's so warm. Okay. If I can at the very least do this, I would be really happy. Please be fast.
What do you want to be fast?
Probably the thing that dies now. Yep.
Oh!
I took out 2 of your Pokemon.
Damn. Just kind of hoping for that to last a little bit longer.
Nope.
Well then, it's bug time. I hope it doesn't bug you.
Oh, Shoot, what do I do at this point? What do I do at this point? Ah! It's probably gonna fail again, but hey, you can't say I didn't try. Alright,
Oh.
Aurora Beam is...
Aurora Beam is special, but Obstruct can defend against anything. So,
Right. Wait, didn't I have one more Pokemon? I guess it got killed off screen. Well, get it over with. There we go. I took out 2, that's more than I expected. But man, do I wish that I tried to take that thing out, but I couldn't because you kept taking out the stuff that would have taken it out. That is what I lost to this time. Oh well, now I can go and put my fan on again. My
here's
god,
the question.
it is
Do
so
I want
boring.
Scolipede,
Oh no, I forgot about that.
or do I want
Right, I need to lose something.
or do I want the
Start
other
by removing all the items.
Turtonator? Turtonator is like an awesome fire dragon.
It's so ugly.
Yes, it is ugly, but it's useful. Scolipede is also just really, really good.
Also ugly.
And I do have a... Yes, I'm taking Scolipede.
Okay. I was about to go into Link Battle. Link Trade. Code. 42... And then I forget the rest.
42, 86, 42, 68.
86, 42, 68. Yes, something like that. My goodness. How do you come up with this?
Well, 42 is the meaning of life.
Actually,
And
it's the answer to everything.
And 86 and 68 are the reverse of each other, so
So, Scolipede, you said.
Scolipede.
Oh look, it's the big mouth. Well, fake big mouth, to be fair. It's not. It's
I
not.
was really hoping that my Pelipper would have Drizzle. That's a really good ability.
So far, it's only worked against me, actually.
Yeah, it boosted my own water attack.
Oh, same thing when I used it in the league. Trust me. I used it against NASA. Good strategy.
Brilliant plan.
It took out something. I believe it actually won the mirror match against her Pelipper.
Ah, Alice, welcome to my team.
Ah, Rika. You were so ugly.
Engage in fierce territorial battles with Center Scourge. At the end of one of these battles, the victor makes a meal of the loser.
Om nom nom nom. And we save.
I usually find all of these things terrifying. Like when creatures are like, I can eat you, and I can and the other thing can answer like, and I can eat you too.
Vox.
Like
Vox.
Nature's morbid.
Vox. Guess who just popped up in my sidebar as wanting to trade?
Oh.
Jar Jar Binks! Misa likes trading! Oh no! I think it's best we just disconnect there.
I see that Alice is level 35.
Oh, you probably have some candy you can throw at them.
I don't have that much candy I can throw at it.
Well, time to grind.
God
Yeah,
dang
yeah.
it.
if you picked the other one, it would actually have been in the high 40s, so... Whoops.
Ah, damn it.
Well, regardless, I will let you get on your merry way, so I can get some air that doesn't bother my head, and then I hope the next time we battle that I will actually have the ability to properly focus, because I won't say that I lost because of that, but man, is it not easy to focus. I mean, it didn't help my case, but we both know that statistically speaking this was the outcome I could expect. Although, to be fair, I learned something valuable about your big fish. Big fish!
You learned about a few of its weaknesses.
Yeah, I also learned exactly how to take it out. Just chop it like it's sushi. Chuk, 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 chuk.
Chop it like it's sushi.
Yeah, that's. I mean, that worked. Anyway,
you were more scared of it than it was worth. I can tell you that much.
It took out 2 of my Pokemon.
It did, because it's very powerful, but it was because you spent more time trying to defend yourself. If you had gone on the counterattack, you might actually have taken it out earlier.
To be fair, I actually legitimately thought that it was a physical move for some reason. I think it's because I thought it had such big impact power, and also because it's related to its weight. Now that you mention it, it would have made sense for it to be a physical, because you get hit by a literal torrent of water. But what do I know? Logic. I need to stop trying to apply logic to Pokemon.
If an attack does make physical contact, it's probably not physical. If you have to shoot it at people, then it's probably special.
So what you're saying as the last parting word is that there are no physical water attacks?
Yes, water punches. Wait, there are physical water attacks, most definitely.
Okay, they're just not what I expect.
Waterfall is one of them.
But you don't. That doesn't make sense.
You
don't throw a waterfall on someone.
That the Pokemon takes the opponent's Pokemon and smashes it down a waterfall.
An imaginary waterfall that but it's still water. And according to Pokemon logic, it's not physical. Anyway,
it is the difference between shooting water at you and punching you with water.
Anyway, chat, this is exactly why I'm so bad at this game. I'm trying to apply like real life logic to a video game, which clearly doesn't have any logic when it thinks that what was it? That ice types are weak to metals. How are minerals strong against ice? Who knows? Regardless.
Dragons are also weak to ice, don't forget that.
But dragons don't exist, so I actually think that's because they're closely related to dinosaurs. The dinosaurs died from the Ice Age, but by that logic, bug types should be weak to ice, and ice is not strong against bug types. This does not make any sense! And I think that's gonna be my parting words, so that you can get moving on. So, thank you for having me on today. I will be on my merry way.
See you next time.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Pokemon Sword and Shield 2-player Nuzlocke against Vox Syreni plays. There we go. It is currently way too early in the morning for me, but I gotta record, so we gotta record. Let's hope I get no casualties for being up early this time. So if I remember correctly, we got to the point where we're going through cutscenes, and cutscenes are plenty, so we'll just start with that. Which is perfect, because my voice is not ready for this, so... Leon, you smug bastard. The tense, still air on the pitch, and the exact opposite from the audience, cheering and yelling. They're both fantastic, wouldn't you say? But remember, the audience is also a bit cruel. They want nothing more than to see one of us lose after all. It can fill you with fear knowing that, but I absolutely love pushing past fear. I love giving it everything I've got as a trainer and seeing my team give everything they've got to seize another victory. It's the greatest feeling in the world and I can't get enough of it. I can feel my partners itching with anticipation inside their Pokeballs. We're going to have a real champion time. I'm the Galar region's champion, Leon. Me and Charizard and all the rest of our team will use all our knowledge and experience to crush you completely. I'm sure of it, Leon. Unfortunately for you, Something's gonna happen to stop that. Wait, hold on. Hey, look at the monitor. What is that on the big screen? Hello there, Leon and Maddie. Just letting you know. I think it's about time I brought about the darkest day. For the sake of Galar's future, of course. But I'm in a bit of a pickle. The energy released by the darkest day is too much for us to contain. I'm sorry it's come to this, but it's you who forced my hand, Leon. You refused to listen. Oh, shut up, stomach. Lee, Maddie. That video stream, that was from Hamlock Stadium, right? What in the world did the chairman do? I don't know, but everything was saying yesterday. Did he really pull this crazy stunt to solve some problem 1,000 years in the future? I've got to go see what's going on. I'm the champion. I have to go. I should have realized what the chairman intended to do before he came to this. I'll take responsibility now for fixing this mess. This is the real champion time. But Leon, you don't know how to get there. But Lee, you're terrible at directions. What if you get lost along the way? Oh man. I want to help my brother, Maddie. I've got to. But I can't even manage to beat you, so what sort of help could I ever be? Well, you could try. Easy for you to say. Hold the phone. The chairman was talking about the darkest day. That's the thing where the sky went all dark once, ages and ages ago, right? What does he mean? He's bringing that about? And where did we even hear that name? Well, we did hear it back in Motorstoke. That statue of the hero in Motorstoke. Sonia said something back then, didn't she? Though it turned out to be wrong since there were actually 2 heroes and all that. Still, those 2 managed to bring an end to the darkest day with the Sword and Shield Pokémon. Sonia thought the Pokémon might still be sleeping somewhere though, right? We should try and find them, Maddie. But where to start looking? Well, I'd try the Slumbering World. That's it, Maddie. I'm sure it's got to be the Slumbering World. That illusion you tried to fight off that day? It must have been one of the Pokémon that are supposed to be sleeping there. Let's go back to the Slumbering World. If we're lucky, we'll find something that can help. It's also the final place where we can catch 2 more Pokémon, and then we have everything we're allowed to catch in this game for the Nuzlocke. Well, until the Ground Hunt releases, more than likely. Then I'll need to change everything again. Oh look, it's Best Girl. And lag for some reason. Huh? Maddie? Hup? Ah, I completely forgot about the championship match. What are you 2 doing here? Have you been watching the news at all? The tournament dissolved, Ronja. The chairman saw to that, and to sending the entire region into a state of havoc. Huh? What? What happened while I was researching things in the Slumbering World? Well, for starters, there is a great black storm or something raging over Hamlock Stadium. What are they calling it? The darkest day? It's throwing everything into disarray. Still, I'm sure we don't need to worry too much. The unbeatable champion will be able to take care of everything, won't he? I am recording, right? Yeah, I am. Good. Hold on a tick, ma'am. Did you say the darkest day? The darkest day is the name for the black storm that nearly brought the Galar region to ruin in the ancient times. So, what are you here for, Maddie? Well, I'm here to stop the darkest day. To stop the darkest day? You mean you're going to search for the Sword and Shield Pokémon? Okay, here, take this. You should head to a Slumbering World. I'll catch up with you once I'm done looking into something that's been bothering me. Oh yay, money. It's not a good sign that the game expects me to be knocked out about now. It's a very violent nodding. All that matters is that you do what you can. You become a fine trainer, after all. Okay, we're back here. Ready for this, Maddie? I wonder if we're about to head straight into a wall of fog again. Not that it'd bother us now. We've both grown loads stronger, and so have our Pokemon. Going into the forest after Wooloo that day, that was the start of everything, wasn't it? A legendary beginning, really. I reckon whatever we're about to see will be pretty legendary itself. Foreshadowing. Let's head in and add another page to our tale. So it's very limited what I can catch in the first small area. I'm just checking I have a high level up front. In the first area I can really only catch 1 of 2 Pokemon, depending on whether or not I pick random or Overworld. And I'm just gonna pick Overworld, which means I get a Grubin. There is nothing else here. Because I already have had a Rookidee, and I have a Squirrel. So now we're just looking for Grubin. I'll go to a place where there's a bit more grass. We're here. There's a Squirrel, a Rookidee. I mean, I could take a random encounter. Can I even see Grubin in this grass? Oh, well, I'm not allowed to catch it, so duplicate claws. I mean, I could do the random battles. There is a higher chance I might get a Hoot if I do, which I'd rather get a Vikavolt, to be honest, simply because electric type, and it's not something we're too covered in on. See if we can find Grubin. This should be. This is a big area of grass. He should pop eventually. Bird. I believe it's like a 10%er. We could be standing around here for a bit, because it doesn't seem. Actually, if we walk back and forth, we should have a better chance, I'd assume. That's a blip block. Blip bok. We're not allowed to catch that either. Come to think of it, Grubin is here in this version, right? One moment. Oh yeah, it's a 10%er. Unfortunately, due to grass, I wish I could move the camera. Oh, there you are. That's Blip Block. Don't worry, duplicate claws. That's not Blip Block. Blip Block. We'll probably run into Blip Block right afterwards. This is probably the most lenient area I could have arrived in, given that regardless of what I run into, as long as... There's basically nothing I can run into that I can't catch. Well, that I'm allowed to catch. What am I saying? There's not a whole lot I'm allowed to catch. Quick ball. So, a level 3 Grubin. If I really want to, I'll grind it up to a good level and give it a Thunderstone, and we'll have a Vikavolt. It might actually be worth it. I'll consider it. Getting so close to the end of the game. But yeah, Grubin at it. Cool. We like this. I should probably write that in the document. I also think I have to sneeze, which is super annoying. Grubin. There you go. Shoot, I didn't think of what to name this thing. Female bok. Female electric bok. Electric Boogaloo. Okay, I can't really think of anything that works for this specific one, but I guess... Okay, here's a Hoob and a half. We're calling it Celeste because of the owl in Animal Crossing related to Blathers, who is not happy of box, and this is a bok type. So that's a Hoob and a half, but I couldn't think of anything. Really couldn't. So you go over here, because you like leveling, obviously. And the next area, I'm just double checking. I have pretty good odds of getting a few things here. I'm not allowed to get an Orbeetle or a Corviknight, but I could get a Weezing or a Munna if I pick Overworld, which I will. So that's either a Psychic type or a Poison Fairy. That's both decent typings. So we'll just walk through all of this now that we're allowed to do that, and into the next area. There is no clear indicator of when it switches. I believe it's across a bridge, but that's about it. Is my microphone not picking me up that well? I don't know. Hopefully it is. Otherwise this is going to be a lot of wasted time. Here we go, and that's the first thing I saw, so we're catching that. Welcome to the team. What do I even call you? Please be male at least, it's female. What the hell do I call that thing? Oh no. It has a top hat. It's female. Hmm. Oh yeah, max level has increased by the way since we beat Raihan. I can't remember to what. But I'll check that while I'm trying to think of a nickname. Okay, I got a nickname. And this one is thanks to Vox, because otherwise I probably wouldn't have been able to, like, not like I asked, but because Vox mentioned this series recently. So this is gonna be Catriel, as in Layton, because she's wearing a top hat, and that's about all I can say about that. That's just what popped into mind as the first thing. So, wait, she's carrying about something? Misty Seed, sure. I want to take that, thank you. Let me move you off. 47 is actually not too bad. There is a case to be spoken about actually using that for something at some point. But regardless, that would do it for what we can catch in here. And that would do it for everything we can catch in general. So now we basically just here to gather the items that are strewn around. Bike. So there are a few items here and there. Life orb. Some of them decent. Oh right, I can't turn the camera. I keep wanting to turn the camera to look around corners and stuff. I believe life orb is a decent item. Like I'm not good with items. It's like I see something that buffs the super effectiveness or something. That's probably what I would be going for. Something that, hey, something that's ups my speed. Oh, don't do that to me, game. I miss Ed's Pearl. And now you're just trolling me. Of course we couldn't get away. Yeah, but it's no worry because I'm like super not scared of this thing as long as we have Kanji up front. I do need to be a bit careful with what I run into, because if I can never remember what is the right path and the wrong path here. We'll try and go this way. Because that would be the right path, so this is the wrong path, so to speak. Or the off-beaten path. It has a mental hub, depending on where in the world you are. And my alarm just went off. Good morning. Yeah, for a change, I woke up before my alarm actually went off, so... It's kind of hilarious. I'm technically on vacation and I'm still up before 9. Because I wanted to get this done. And for some reason, I hadn't been able to pull myself together or find the time. Depending on which day we talk about. Until now. So, here we are. Early in the morning. And I noticed that I sidestepped that trap right there. Okay, so that would be hop. I don't believe there is a battle in here. Oh, I need to think. Is there a battle here? Is there a battle here? If there is, it's against a legendary dog. Shoot, I can't remember. I don't believe... No, wait. There isn't. There is no battle here. There's no battle here. What's with this fog? It's even worse than the first time we came here. No, it's about the same, to be honest. Look, doggos! Yeah, I'm not saying that. They really are here. The Sword and Shield Pokémon, I knew it! And then, they were gone. Hey, where are you going? We need your help over here. I should have eaten breakfast before we started. You two, what in the world are you doing? What? Come off it, Sonia. You must have seen that right. Those Sword and Shield Pokemon, they were right in front of us. But then they disappeared into the forest. Hop, you aren't yeah? You sure you haven't lost the plot? There was no one here but the two of you. Huh? Then, were those just illusions or something? Listen, I dug into some literature from other regions and I finally found something. Mentions of the Sword Pokemon Zacian and the Shield Pokemon Zamazenta. The writing said that those two Pokemon were born somewhere beyond the slumbering world, sometime long, long ago. Did they really? Ta, Sonia, thanks for digging into it. Even if it's just an illusion or whatever, we did manage to find the Pokemon again. Maybe the Sword and Shield that those two used to carry is still around here too. I know I'm kind of paraphrasing, but you know. Zacian and Zamazenta. They may have been sleeping in the slumbering world right next to your hometown all this time. Perhaps that's why no one has entered the deepest parts of these woods for so long. The gate will continue pushing in further. I believe there's like a small area. No, there isn't. We're just going straight to the gravesite, I'm assuming then? Yeah. This is one of the more pretty scenes in the game. There's also, like, this is just good scenography. It looks like something straight out of The Legend of Zelda. I'm slightly worried about the audio from the microphone because it doesn't look like it's picking much up, so I hope it is. Will you take a look at that, Maddie? Now that's something you don't see every day. This place definitely feels like the stuff of legend. I don't like that it allows me to control. I worry that there might be a battle here. There shouldn't be. There's the Sword Shield. Roll credits. See that, Maddie? The Sword and the Shield. The legends really were true. Why? Yay, a rusted sword. That settles it. I'm taking the shield. Though, wow, would you look at the state of this thing? It seems like it might fall to pieces if you so much as look at it funny. I don't know if these rusty old things will really be able to stop the darkest day, but, well, I guess it can't hurt to have them along. Let's hope they bring us some good luck. Maybe the Pokemon themselves really are still asleep somewhere. So it seems we're on our own if we want to go to help Lee. This is all the help we've got. Okay, well, time to head out then, right? If anybody's gonna help Lee now, I guess it's just you and me, mate. He's probably still in Hamlock Stadium, trying to keep the darkest day at bay. So, what do you say, Maddie? Wanna grab a flying taxi to head there right now? Yep, I do. Thank you. So the next thing we're gonna be doing is fighting Chairman Rose. We have 3 counters, even if we... oh yeah, right. I don't know if I remember to say this. I'll say that afterwards. Well, if it isn't Maddie and Hub. It's a real shame the way things have turned out. You make it all the way to the championship match, then something like this happened. And Chairman Rose thinking that the energy pouring from the darkest day would somehow be the key to saving Galan's future? It all seems a bit mad, if you ask me. I can't follow at all how that's supposed to work. Well, I don't care if I'm up against the darkest day of the chairman or whatever. I'm going ahead. I'm off to help my brother. Bye, Hub. Nice knowing you. And he's gone. That Hub never changes. Always in a rush about something, isn't he? The key thing is that no one's been harmed. We gym leaders work together with the city's Pokemon and we've got everyone evacuated. And you're fixing to help our champion, to save everyone in Galan, right? Awesome, man. Our greatest ever champion, the greatest ever challenger, along with her fiercest rival. All teaming up against Darkest Day. Almost feel sorry for it. Go on then, our great challenger. Into Hamlock Stadium with you. I love the fact that they say they've evacuated everyone, but I believe if you enter buildings here, people are still around. Yeah, they are. I guess they just empty the streets then. But, as I was about to say, I completely forgot about this. I'm not allowed to use Sonic. Sonic is temporarily banned because of a small stunt I pulled back in... When was that? I think it was against Marnie, where I soft reset because I forgot to re-enable animations for battle. And while Vox, I put this in a comment, but while Vox said that it wasn't necessary for me to be punished for it, she did also explain to me how it affected RNG, and even though I would likely have won regardless, after realizing how much of an F-up that really was, I decided to do it myself and just go ahead. And Sonic, the main Pokemon that did something back then, he's just soft banned onto the post game. He'll be back, but for now he's not allowed to even partake in anything, which technically I should have taken him off the team earlier, but it's fine. He hasn't actually been active, so I consider that fine. So we're going up against Tiam and Rose in Just Tech, and we'll basically be doing something like... Well, these two are the most important. Actually, we have three freaking, what are they called? Fire Pokemon, so we'll definitely bring those because he's just pure metal. I'll bring Strongbat, he's not high enough level, but I mean, why not? And actually, I'll bring Mooney just to try and get some levels on Mooney because we're probably gonna go grind before the Eternatus battle so that Mooney can get up to a higher level because I need a tank that can tank the physical attacks of that legendary because otherwise I'm gonna be in trouble. And I think Mooney's gonna be the one because I could have used Chansey, Joy, but I just had to evolve it and look at the stats now. It's abysmal for any... I mean, it has good special defense, but that's not gonna help me against the physical legendary, is it? At least I believe Eternatus is. I'll look at that off camera because I'm probably gonna end this episode after the battle against Tiam and Rose. Mainly because I forgot to eat breakfast and I'm hungry. So I'll be doing that before I continue after that. Oh yeah, new items, right. We will just be putting on some expert belts. And probably charcoal as well, to be honest. Because why not? There we go. I should definitely go heal first. So I'm thinking everything Tiam and Rose has is physical basically. It's all metal. It's all steel type. Our fire Pokemon should make short something of him. Words, they're escaping me at the moment. It should be a very it shouldn't be a tough battle for me, everything considered. With Silverfang up front, we should also be able to outspeed most of the Pokemon. Oh, look who's here. Gym Challenger, you must help me. I mean, please help me. My Pokemon suddenly Dynamaxed for some reason and started running amok in the stadium. Mr. Raihan was able to subdue the Dynamax Pokemon in the stadium, but if other Pokemon also Dynamax and go on a rampage, the underground power plant would collapse. Mr. Rose is down there right now. I know this is selfish of me, but I must beg you to your assistance. I want you to head into the underground power plant and stop Mr. Rose. Mr. Rose has awakened the Pokemon known as Eternatus. Apparently the energy emitted from its body is what's causing Dynamaxing. At this rate, all the Pokemon in the Galar region will Dynamax and go berserk. If that were to happen, please, you must save Mr. Rose. You can take the lift over there to reach him. I've enlisted the help of the champion's younger brother too, but who knows what is going on. I can't remember the voices I gave to anyone anymore, so... this has nearly been a year-long project, can you really expect it? So just because we went through cutscene hell, in case my console crashes, I want to save, because look at that. I've got that time. I mean, we spent half an hour. That's a lot of cutscenes. So, the Tiamat battle. From what I remember, I'm just gonna bring him up here again because I have it right here on standby. He has an Excalibur. It's slow and it's still Bok. That should be 4 times to fire, no problem. Then he has a Featherfawn, which is grass steel, also 4 times. Berserker, Kling Klang. It's only really Kabarasha I'm worried about, and I think I'm gonna bring out Kanji for that one. Kanji is... And what do you plan on doing, Gym Challenger? I'm stopping the Dog's Day. Oh, pardon? What are you talking about? There's nothing to stop now. We've already brought about the Dog's Day. Or should I say, the ultimate Pokémon, Eternatus. Must I explain myself? From your perspective, I suppose it must seem that I am doing something terrible. I don't expect you to understand. But I must provide the Galar region with limitless energy to ensure everlasting prosperity. It is my purpose, my duty, my destiny. That's why we've been given the wishing stars to Eternatus. Surely you remember the red light that caused the rockers around Hammerlock. That was all part of our experiment to awaken Eternatus. You must understand. I can't let you interfere with my plan to protect the future of Galar. Well, we're in for a battle. This guy has the most epic music, and I'm not sure he deserves it. Macross Cosmos Rose. So well animated faces in this game compared to what we're used to. Okay. Ow. Silverfang. You're fast. You're strong. He's getting it wrong. We're not Dynamaxing yet, obviously. So we should be faster because, like, that thing right there, super slow. So even though we're lower level, it should, yeah, exactly, one-hit KO. Pew pew! I expect this to be a fairly straightforward battle. You're pretty tough. Yes, entirely too tough. Don't you think that's unfair? Oh, the new max level? 57 once I'm done with Rose, so it doesn't matter if anything O levels during this battle. It'll be legal right afterwards again. Kling Klang should still be slow. I need to check something before we do Kabarasha. Because I do need to make sure... Oh, it's faster. Also hits fairly hard. But it still should go down in one hit. It did. I just need to make sure not to lose Silverfang. That's like the most important thing. Okay, good levels on Mooney right there. Wants to learn Headbutt. Well, if it has Tackle, it doesn't. Roll out by... Feral Thorn. This one also 4 times weak. It has still grass, it has a fighting move and a ghost move. We should be fine. I just need for it to not somehow crit me. Okay, it can't crit me if I go first. 4 times super effective, this should be done. I believe this thing can leave... No, it can't. Okay, I actually thought it had like stealth trap, stealth rock, which would have been annoying if it had been able to get it off, but it couldn't. Berserker, still normal, Ghost Dark. We should still be fine. This one might actually be faster than us. I'm running the risk. We are still faster. We should be able to take it out in 1 hit. Yep, there we go. I like this battle. And that is everything but Kabarasha. So I need to check some things here. Oh, dual chop. What is dual chop? It's a dragon move. Really? The user attacks its target by hitting it with brutal strikes. The target is hit twice in a row. So it's a 2... It's not great. I mean, it is a dragon move, so it could be useful. But it doesn't seem great. Okay, so Kabarasha. I need to double check here, because it is full steel, but it has a steel grounded psychic attack. Kanji is rock fire. I just need to make sure that Kanji is not like weak to any of this. Fire is weak to ground, obviously. That's actually a good point. So it's ground versus rock. No way. Ground is strong against rock? So if I brought out Kanji, he would actually be 4 times super effective to me, huh? Good thing I checked this. Alternatively, we have Bowser. Do we bring out Bowser? Do we bring out Bowser? We have decent defense. We have Dragon Pulse, Shell Trap. We're not fast, so he will probably go first. But I can probably... My main concern here is, while Silverfang might go first, the fact that he has ground moves worries me. Oh, I could bank on being faster and stronger and just get it out of the way, but okay, let's be smart here. If I bring up Bowser, the normal attack is probably gonna be protection, which means that I can waste 1 turn of his Dynamax. I also have decent defense, so even if he does crit me, or not crit me, super effective me, I should not be too bad off. Oh, I could Shell Trap. The user sets a Shell Trap. If the user is hit by a physical move, the trap will explode and inflict damage on opposing. That's a lot of damage. See, this is where I wish I could have used Sonic. Maybe my punishment was a bit harsh, because Sonic would have been perfect here. Oh, down to my last Pokemon. This isn't looking too good. Well, Gemma Rose, at least your last Pokemon is good. So I can either max guard. We'll have to do it this way. I'll show you a move that'll hit so hard you'll be speechless. Just so you're aware, I'm kinda expecting to lose Bowser here. In hindsight. Should have checked Kabarasha a bit earlier than after I picked my team and went into battle, shouldn't I? I'm banking on Bowser being good at having defense. Because otherwise we are in trouble. In big bad trouble. Worst case, if Bowser can at least take down a lot of its health, Silverfang can swoop in and do the last. Alright then, hopefully this move will turn things around for me. Simply because of how fast he is. So that move didn't turn jack squat around for you. I need to. Hopefully I don't get one-hit KO'd by Max Quake. That is my worry. I might actually just straight up go out here. Ooh, good thing we have good defense. Good thing we have good defense. It's defense. It's special defense, Rose. Oh, that's not good. Okay. Its chance of failing raises if it's used in succession. Well, I didn't use it in succession. So I should... yeah, here we go. Okay, so that is it for his Dynamax. He doesn't get to use it much at all. He gets one attack in and then I'm like, nope. What is his attacks? High horsepower. It is a high attack move. Power move. It has... yeah, it's 95 power. Gonna heal. Hopefully. Don't crit. I knew you were gonna use that attack. Okay, this could be a problem. If he crits just once, Bowser's dead. Okay, so he's used twice. Wait, he's used 4 times technically. Missed 2 of them. 5. It has 10 power points, so we're halfway there. I just need to survive 5 more turns. And he can't use it anymore. Bit cheesy, but you know, need to do this. There's another one, just don't crit. That's 6. There goes the sunlight. I don't think the sunlight affected anyone but me. I need to remember to buy healing items after this. That should be number 7. Yeah, it really looks like he can't kill me with that unless he crits. Which is good. 8. It's interesting seeing the same attack used so many times in the sense that you can see that it hits it gets me down to between 28 and 37-ish from the looks of it. So I'd be curious to see the algorithm for how they... oh! Is he dealing more damage with every hit? There's some algorithm to this. Okay, I believe this is the last time he can use it. I was about to say, now look, watch as he's probably gonna crit with it. So I'd assume that he should have to use a different move now. Okay. Don't tell me Tiamat Rose has actually used PowerPoint up. Because that would be annoying. Because then it can go all the way up to 16. Are you kidding me? Okay, this might just be the 2 times I did a max guard. It is possible. I really need to buy new healing items after this, don't I? I'm not losing Bowser if I can avoid it. You don't have infinite of those. Sand Headbutt, there we go, okay. So now, since everything he has is physical, I can use Shell Trap. And he'll hit me, he'll miss, and for that reason my move won't work. Dude, would you mind hitting? He's out of high horsepower. It's interesting, I guess it means that when you use max guard, it doesn't actually subtract the power point. Fascinating. And that's it for Tiamat Rose. Cool. No losses, although it was freaking close with Bowser, because I kind of forgot about all the... Right, I had a moment of, wait, am I allowed to use Bowser? Yes I am. I wasn't allowed to use Bowser during the battle with Vox, but let me just double check. Yeah, after beating Raihan, the new max was level 57, which we just hit, so I was legally allowed to do that. I thought I made another F up. Woo! I'd forgotten how great Pokemon battles are. That sure was satisfying. Most impressive, Maddie. I wouldn't expect any less from a challenger endorsed by the strongest champion ever to grace our beloved Galar region. I really do wish I could have seen the champion match between you two, and I'm terribly sorry to have ruined the whole gym challenge and everything. It's too bad, but it can't be helped. In order to solve the energy issue as soon as possible, we awakened Eternatus, but we couldn't control it. The champion came to aid me, even at the cost of abandoning the match. Indeed, just like a knight in shining armor coming to rescue a princess from a dragon. I do tend to ramble on, I know. I love to make speeches. But I think I can stop talking now. I think the champion should have captured Eternatus by now. If you're curious, you can take the lift up. And I trust you'll be going too, right, Hup? I certainly hope losing to me didn't discourage you too much. Go on now, both of you. Go see how our champion is doing. Discouraged? You don't get it, do you, Tiaman? Neither me nor my Pokémon are anywhere near giving up. We've learned how to be strong thanks to the gym challenge you organized. And just like that, of course I won't stop you. Head up via the lift if you wish. Just like that, we are supposed to head to the left here, but we are heading the other way because I want to buy healing items. And I honestly think we should go and grind Mooney a bit. Because Eternatus... Oof, Eternatus. What? Did I not... I'm sorry if you could hear that. I forgot to mute my PC. So I know there's an epic battle right in front of us, but... I'm not taking chances. So... After beating Tiaman Rose, the new max level is 65. Just so you're all aware. That worked really well. That worked really well. I'm satisfied with that match. Could have gone way worse. We're not done for today though. That's a lot of money, but it's so worth it. Did I use a full restore? Guess I did. So, actually, let's just save real quick. Let's just position ourselves proper and then... we'll position ourselves proper outside, it's fine. And then save. Just for the sake of not crashing. So, something I want to check is at what point... Vox noticed something interesting. Which is that... it's either right after Eternatus or somewhere between, right before that, where the wild area on the Isle of Armor actually kicks up to level 60 for some reason. Now I'm not gonna just willy-nilly jump into any battle. I'm gonna see if I can find a Chansey, because we know that those are safe. Oh, they should be safe. Actually, what is a good Pokemon to grind with against that? I need Mooney up, that's definitely for sure. Do we have anything with... Strong Bat is a bit too low level for that, I'd say. Anything with fighting move? I have that, that's counter, but that's what I'm looking for. Break. Yes, Evil, you'll be good for grinding. There we go. So now we just need to find... You're big. There we go, Chansey. Please be level 60, that would make it so much easier to grind now than after the Eternatus battle. It would also be good game design if they did. It's not. Okay. So, hereby, good piece of information. Once you've beaten Eternatus, everything on the island changes to level 60. That's terrible XP. So that's not how we're gonna grind for levels. Shoot. I mean, alternatively, we could just try and take it on with what we have. Oh, I did want to use Mooney, but I guess we don't really have a chance because that's some really, really bad XP. Unless... I mean, there is one place we could go to get some better levels against Mr. Rhyme. If you're here just for the epic battles, then this is probably where you're dropping out for the episode, I assume, simply because I'm gonna be grinding for the rest of this episode, which shouldn't be long, probably be 10 to 20 minutes. Probably level some more stuff. I don't even know what to bring against Leon. What level are Leon? I'll check that when I've done this episode. We'll bring Celeste in. Might as well get some levels in there. Bowser doesn't really need levels. Shoot, I don't know what to bring against Leon. I want some more levels on Morgana. I'm gonna use Silverfang against the Mr. Rhymes because Silverfang is fast, Silverfang is strong, Silverfang is the one who's gonna do everything wrong. No, wait. It rhymes, but that's not the truth. Where? There. It's not great XP, but it's definitely better than a Chansey that gives about 100 XP. It's gonna give us about 1000, I think, if I remember correctly. Okay, here's the problem with Silverfang. The Intimidate is gonna cost us a bit of time every single match. But we should be able to take it down one hit at least. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's good, that's good, that's good. So let's just bing, bing, ding, ding, ding. I do still have candy I could use. I might do that after a bit, but right now we're just doing this. Bite, dark type move, better than Vice Grip in my opinion. I think. I don't know. I've never used Vice Grip, so I'd assume so. Can always fix moves later, it's not that big a deal. It's only a big deal because I usually tend to forget to do that. But you know. Oh, I don't like these two next battles. I really don't. Eternatus because, I mean, I just need to survive long enough to be able to... He's faster? Huh. I just need to survive the Eternatus battles, both of them. One of them is just a raid battle, if I remember correctly, where I can't even touch it until the... Send Headbutt, huh? Sure. Survive until we can start taking it out together with the legendaries, and then after that... No wait, there are two battles. One of them is where I need to survive until the timer runs out, and the other is where I need to work together with the legendaries. Yeah. So it's really just survive until you don't, until everything's fine. X defense might be worth it, but we'll have a look at it when we get there. It'll be the start of next episode, so it's fine. And then after that we'll probably be grinding again so that I can get ready for Leon. The Leon battle really effing worries me. It really does. Like, I saw Vox went through it like no trouble whatsoever, but that's because Vox has Chansey. If I'm lucky, I might be completely wrong about this. Oh, nice. Maybe... I should make a note of this. Rubin, evolve into... One moment. Shabok. Which is fitting because it's like charging. Looks kind of like a battery in the boss. Okay. What was I saying? Right, if I'm right, I might be able to utilize Mooney in the same manner. No, we're fine without that. I'm hoping Mooney can do the same. At least against Eternatus. Preferably also against Leon. But I have my doubts on that one. I don't think Mooney has as good stats. Does the Eviolite work the same way on Mooney as it would on an unevolved Chansey, I wonder? Or does it not? I'll need to look that up, because if it does the same with boosting stats, I definitely want to do that. Otherwise, I am not... I'll see, have to look... See? I'll have to have a check. Let's have a look. Wow, works. To see if I have any items that boost my defense. Because I definitely want to do that. I have to do that before the Eternity's battle as well. So that's gonna happen in between episodes, definitely. And then after Leon, we're up to the second final match against Vox. That's the post game, and then we're done. And at that point, I believe the Crown Tundra has released. We will be doing a quick playthrough of that on our own, both of us, to see what the content is all about. So we can see if we can fit it into the Nuzlocke. Hopefully we can. It seems like there is a plot segment, so it should be possible to include it. If we can, then it will be part of the Nuzlocke. And I mean, I'll have to talk to Vox about this, but we've been planning to maybe do like what we could call an All-Stars battle, where we can use any Pokemon we have, even if it has been knocked out. I think originally we were meant to do that after we're done with the post-game of, you know, the main game. I might have to ask her if we should postpone that until after Crown Tundra. Random snub. Because then there would actually be some more versus stuff after that. Otherwise, at that point, where is the versus stuff? Then it's just a Nuzlocke, no longer a two-player Nuzlocke. So I want to ask Vox if we're gonna do that. Maybe we will. It also heavily depends on what the content of the Crown Tundra is. I know there is some co-op stuff going on. I don't know if maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do that. I don't know. I really don't know. I will only have the answers once we've played it, once it's released. Hopefully it'll be worth it. Hopefully it'll be possible to fit it in. Because it would be nice. It depends on things like level scaling and stuff like that. There was no level scaling in the Isle of Armor, I can tell that. An electric move, I probably want to do that actually, for Charjabok. Oh, Celeste. Yeah, I'm sitting here thinking, what do I do against Leon? I am really not sure. Oh yeah. I don't know if I need to mention this, because at the point where when this episode releases, it's probably too late actually. But if this really, by some majestic miracle, manages to release before the end of November, remember to do your mystery gifts, because right now you get like, well, so far only 3, but by the end of the month you'll have the ability to get all 8 different Pikachus with caps. And while I don't really have the most positive relationship to Pikachu, there's still like a collector's thing when they have the caps. So, did I get attacked when I was outside the grass? Fascinating. But yeah, already got the first free one. That's why you might sometimes notice that there's something odd about, in between episodes, the timestamp on my save files. I just realized that's actually gonna affect that. If there's any episodes where that looks odd, it's more than likely, like, you can probably cross-reference it with a mystery event, a mystery gift event, more than likely, because that would be why. I use this, like you can see here, just because I'm talking about them. Here they are. That's usually what happens. I actually never considered that. That affects what it says on my save file, which could look dodgy, huh? I should have clarified that way earlier. Yeah, I used this file as a secondary mystery gift file because I like having backups, and since they're both on the same account. Well, they're not on the same account, are they? I can't remember. But I like having backups, that's basically what I'm trying to say. you know, for trading purposes and for living dex purposes, so that I have one in my bank, and not bank, it's called home now, as well as on me, so I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that. But yeah, what is... I want to check my status, but that... There we go, now I can. How are we doing on levels? Mooney is level 30. This is slow progress, isn't it? Oh. It doesn't help that it does not look like freaking Mr. Rhyme wants to appear as much as I want it to, huh? There we are. One moment, I need something to drink. Yeah, this is gonna take a while. I think, yeah, we're basically at an hour, plus minus a few minutes, because I'm cutting out whenever I name things, there's like usually a good 3 to 7 minutes of just dead air where I'm just thinking about what to name things. So I'll cut that out, because that's pointless to have in an episode. So we have like, I give it 5 minutes. We have about 5 minutes left. We can grind a few levels. I'm tempted to just throw some candy at Mooney at this point, to be honest though. But we'll... when I grab some breakfast, I'll check what I need to prepare for Eternatus and Leon one more time, and then next episode we'll be doing that. Maybe not Leon next episode. This might end up being split into 3 separate episodes, which would make the Leon episode a short one, potentially. I mean, if it turns out to be a short one, I'll just splice it onto the end of the other episode. That's the good thing about editing, isn't it? I don't need to worry about things like, oh no, this turned out to be a 10-minute episode because Leon was a pushover. Hopefully, but that won't happen. I doubt that will happen, but yeah. The magic of editing. Sucker Punch. Does Sucker Punch have priority? At this point I'm starting to wonder, because it seems like it's just faster a lot of the time. I mean, Mooney does get roughly a level every time. Sticky Web. What is that? Speed stats. Oh, upon entering. Interesting. So that's like... That's not bad. That's actually not bad. That's an interesting move. So when... That's like Stealth Rock, but for... Instead of dealing damage, it lowers the speed. Can you combine Stealth Rock with Sticky Web? I don't actually know if area effects stack, or if they just... I know Toxic Field stacks on top of Toxic Field, obviously, but do different types of area effects stack like that? So that I could both with Stealth Rock and Sticky Web? Because that could be pretty devastating, for at least for an NPC. That's something to consider. Okay, Mooney is not gaining a lot of XP anymore. It's like 3 battles for a level. That's not good. I think this is gonna be the last Mr. Rhyme we're taking out today, and then I will consider what to do at the start of next episode. I might just candy up the cow. That's a weird sentence. I might just throw a bunch of candy at the milk tank. So that, I hope milk tank... I'll need to look into that. Will milk tank even be good against Eternatus? I'd assume it seems to have... Milk tank is a tank, right? Hence the name. So I'd assume that its freaking defense stats should get good. Let's have a quick look at it. Yeah, it's 82 already, and it still has like, it's like half, a bit further than halfway where it needs to go. It's actually also surprisingly fast. That kind of caught me off guard. That's also the only two things that got going for it. Its attack... Oh, that's interesting. Because of its nature, its attack is actually faster than it normally is. What is Thick That? The Pokemon is protected by a layer of Thick That, which halves the damage taken from fire and ice type moves. Ooh, Miltank might actually be good against Charizard. Because of the fire type. Huh. Fascinating. Well, we'll be heading back to the epicenter of everything evil. I mean, Motorstoke. I'll heal up and then we'll call that a day for this episode. I'll try and fix my voice up a bit. Make sure that the audio is recording correctly. And I'll grab something to eat because breakfast is apparently something I require today. I guess at this point it's more like a brunch. But yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll... I'm worried. I'm worried. We'll save. And then just thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. We got some good stuff done. We teased a bit against Diamond Rose, but it's fine. Until next time, please do take care. And I will hopefully see you by then. Bye for now.